Hey guys, this is the boss, and today I'm gonna watch top 10 best creepypasta plot twists. You wanna know why I'm gonna watch this? Because the creator of this video, HoodoHoodlumsRevenge, the guy made top 13 scariest creepypastas, which was his first Halloween special, I think. And there's also another reason for that. It's because he's about to hit 100,000 subscribers. You see those numbers? You see those 1,000 numbers? He's so close. But in the future, he finally reached it. And he may get a silver YouTube play button. If you reach 1 million, you get a golden YouTube play button. And if you hit 10 million, then you'll get a diamond shaped, not diamond shaped, but a diamond YouTube play button, which will take a long road to get there. It depends how well your videos are going. Yeah, let's just go. Let's just go with this thing. See my volume is checked. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. Thank you. Let's go straight into this. It's fine, just, yeah, I heard about some, and whatever, let's just go. What? Loaded top.
Before we begin, I would like to clarify that this is not my 50,000 subscriber special. It's coming soon, I promise. I would also like to apologize for the lack of videos lately. I've been quite busy with schoolwork. I hope you understand.
Same as Stefan.
Please enjoy the movie. I mean, video.
Haha! I see what you did there.
A plot twist is an unexpected, big change in movies,
books, I saw this one.
Video games, and so on that can toy with the audience's expectations.
And Walking Dead.
When you think the plot is moving towards a certain outcome, a good plot twist can shake things up and catch you completely off guard, leaving you speechless.
This is Spec Ops: The Line.
When done right, a plot twist can make the audience question what they've previously known. Things might finally make sense. Things might not look as innocent as before.
Metal Gear Solid.
Things might change.
Doctor Who.
Forever. And that's what I thought I would celebrate today. The 10 best, in my opinion, plot twists in creepypastas.
Plot twist.
Well,
what's in the box?
Not exactly. You see, for this list in particular, I've tried to focus on stories that I have mentioned maybe once or twice, or not at all, to keep things relatively fresh.
Yeah, it's alright, it's alright.
Relatively. You will still see a few stories that I've talked about extensively on the channel before, simply because they're just that good. Not all of them will be on here, though, so remember that.
Yeah.
Am I making sense? I hope so.
Yeah,
now,
you do make sense.
Keep this in mind.
Because you're awesome.
Spoilers will be everywhere. Before each plot twist, I will present the story that it appears in, and give you a few seconds to pause the video, look up the story, and read it if you haven't already, in case you want to know, or understand what I'm talking about, or just don't want it spoiled for you. But it's your choice, and I won't force you to read it. I recommend doing so, though.
But
like I said, not forcing you.
So fucking dramatic.
Totally not forcing you.
No, main reaction to this, to his most popular video last year, and, yeah, he saw his video and he liked it.
With that said, it's time to talk about the top 10 best creepypasta plot twists from stories I kinda haven't talked about before. Yeah, let's just get on with it.
We all had like 20 minutes left. Almost. No, never mind.
Number 10, from 1999.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mr. Bear is a devil worshipper.
Yeah.
Say what you want about 1999. I've heard some people praise it to no end, and some people declare it as overrated. In my honest opinion, I don't see what all the fuss is about. I've already explained myself in my top cliches video, so please go watch that one if you haven't already. Even
I'll
though
do it in
I
October,
don't
just for you.
1999 spectacular, I will say that it did do something a tad bit original. It did not have a typical monster. It simply had a creepy guy in a bear suit luring children into a satanic ritual thingamajiggy, and this
it's almost like the Slender Man ritual thingy.
And that's definitely a positive.
Can have to go
He was a
and make
lot
a ritual.
more than what you thought in the first place.
At least that I
He
heard
was
of.
more than what met the eye. I thought it was a good way to give the character at
I
least
believe
some
it.
motivation, other than to just classify
Yeah,
him
I
as
played
nuts,
before.
which is a character motivation that I'm
I
usually
didn't get
against.
that far because
I
I was
believe
stuck in
villains
some
need at
point.
least some motivation for why they commit atrocities, other than to simply say, oh, they're nuts, that's why
Hello,
they do
the Green
it.
Reaper.
It doesn't make a very
Or at
interesting
least
character,
you aren't.
unless it's executed with skill and great writing. By revealing Mr. Bear's intentions of
Not creepy
worshipping
at
a
all.
higher entity, it gave him
No,
some
not
depth
Raymond.
and a motivation, which made him a lot more interesting. So all in all, a decent plot twist.
So decent.
Number
That's
9,
easy.
from Tiki Toby.
I've heard about it before.
Slenderman haunts Toby.
Slenderman? What?
Of all the killer characters in the Creepypasta community, Tiki Toby is possibly
Oh, it's
the
that
most
guy. Yeah, I've
halfway
seen it before.
decent of them. Which isn't
I've never
really
heard of
saying
his
too
story.
much. The story did do something that a lot of the others did not, however. It actually made an attempt to have you feel actual sympathy for Toby and gave him a somewhat believable reason for going cuckoo. When I first read the story,
Coco.
I expected it to be just like any other cliche killer creepypasta.
Oh, it's like someone
Young person
suicide.
gets bullied, has a bad day, kills someone and realizes they like it, kills their family, rinse and repeat.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Well, it certainly
It's
wasn't
from
the
the,
most original
the
thing
house.
ever. It did leave me thoroughly surprised at one point. It featured the inclusion of Slenderman.
Hello.
Now this may sound like a bad fanfiction for shoving an already established character into the mix, but in the context of the story, I felt it worked decently. It did give us some sort of motivation for why Toby might have felt the urge to kill someone, and that should be commended. This inclusion caught me completely off guard, as I was not expecting it at all.
Pierce.
Whether this was a good thing or a bad thing is debatable, since you could make the argument that the authors simply wanted to create an accomplice for Slenderman, but in my opinion, it was at the very least a solid plot twist. Although, I must question why Slenderman would choose a skinny teenager as a helper. If I was him, I'd choose a 6-foot Russian bodybuilder. Now that would strike fear in his enemies.
And I thought you
If
went
you
for
were in a dark
Randy
alley,
Orton.
who would you be more terrified of meeting? A skinny teenager or a 6-foot bodybuilder?
No, first of all.
Personally, I'd choose the latter. But that's just me.
I don't know.
Number 8, from Stairs.
Basically the first option. I know. Let's get moving on. Stairs.
The woman can walk.
Of course. All the people out there
Stairs
can walk.
is short and sweet. A perfect campfire story. It has nothing to do with ghosts or supernatural monsters or excessive amounts of blood and gore. It keeps things to a realistic minimum and beams with atmosphere. Throughout the story, you feel like something seriously wrong has occurred within the residence of the old woman. The final act of the story makes you think about what you just read, and when you realize exactly what the hints were building up to, with, for example, the woman being reluctant to letting the police officer inspect the second floor, you may feel startled. The woman, who had been in the wheelchair the whole story, could, in fact, walk. How else would she have been able to call the police from the first floor? It's a great plot twist that leaves you surprised and shocked, and the story ends on a perfect note. Did the officer realize the truth in time? Or was it too late? Will he suffer the same fate as the woman's carer?
He was too late.
Or will he actually make it out of the residence alive and call for backup?
Mate.
That's up for the reader to decide, which is awesome. Another question arises, which is also up for interpretation. The story mentions that the woman's husband died under mysterious circumstances. Now the obvious conclusion to draw would be that the woman murdered him as well. But what if his death was what sparked the woman's lust for blood in the first place?
Dun dun dun.
I'm getting off topic. Great story, great plot twist to go along with it. Moral of the story? Never go to a crime scene on your own. Bring friends, bring family, bring anyone who can help you. See, this story teaches such great life lessons. Friendship is now deuce.
Whoa, that scared me.
Almost said it.
Jesus.
Number 7,
Don't bring
Mr. Widemouth.
Oh yeah, that white fluffy thing.
Mr. Widemouth had done it before.
What? Jerked off? Ooh, just
Mr.
kidding.
Widemouth is a pretty good creepypasta.
Yeah, I've seen that picture
concept before. With a seemingly innocent creature attempting to lure the protagonist to his demise.
What?
While reading the story, you can almost feel the frustration that Widemouth feels while trying to convince the protagonist.
Oh yeah, it's not free on Steam.
Jump out of the
I think it was this game only, so you can grab it.
Mind, you wonder if Widemouth has done the same in the past with others who have resided in the house.
I'm not joking, look on Steam.
The final plot twist confirms your suspicions. By finding numerous graves of children, the story reveals that Widemouth had led multiple children to their fates, which is very unsettling, seeing how calm and collected he appeared while waving goodbye to the author earlier in the story. The fact that the house also burned down a few years later after the author moved away seems to suggest
looks like a symbol of a gun.
Left. And that's no good. Leaves you wondering what happened, and what could have happened if the author would have blindly listened to Widemouth.
Abe.
It's an effective way to toy with the reader's expectations as well. At first, you think Widemouth is a creature out to murder children, but towards the end, you realize that instead of straight up murdering them, he wants them to take their own lives. In a way, I think that's a lot more unsettling. Instead of simply giving people death, he drives them to it themselves. Like I said with Stairs, it's a great campfire story, and could almost be interpreted as a commentary on the notion that children should listen to superiors regardless of what they say,
indeed.
Which is a very important and actually kind of scary lesson. Superiors don't always have the best answers. You might think they do, but they won't have the answers all the time, and sometimes these answers can be downright detrimental to you. It's a tough but important lesson to learn. Who would have thought I would get so much material from a seemingly simple story? Maybe I'm reading too much into things.
Yeah.
That can't be a bad thing, can it?
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe
Number
not.
6, from No End House. You can never escape.
Exactly. Just kidding.
No End House is pretty fantastic in my opinion. A nitpick I have with the story, though, is that the creature inside the house did not have much to do with anything other than to look creepy. I would have preferred a monster that had something to do with the author's fears. But that's just me. The final twist of the story reveals that the author is still stuck inside the house, and his nightmare is never ending, hence the name No End House. This unfortunately leads to a major plot hole. How would the author's friend have been able to tell him about the house if he can't make it out?
The plot needs to make sense.
Perhaps he was simply lying about entering in the first place. Or maybe he had a dream or LSD trip about it and convinced himself that it was real. Or maybe there was a way to quit it post-haste. If it's explained in the sequels, that's great. I haven't read them yet. I guess an argument could be made about how the original should stand on its own, since a sequel wasn't announced in the first place. So hopefully the sequels weren't made to fill in the plot holes, but to expand on or continue the story primarily. There's not really anything else to go into with the story, and nothing to read deeper into, really. It's a straightforward roller coaster ride that takes you through disturbing imagery and intense scares. Even though it didn't make perfect sense, I still thought the twist was intriguing, at the very least. Number 5, from the strangest security tape I've ever seen. Jeremy can warp time.
Oh, he can? Oh.
The strangest...
Jerry Fitzgerald?
I'll just call it Strange for now. Strange is a story that, much like 99 and Stairs, doesn't deal with a monster per se.
F monsters in
Jeremy
the A.
is just what appears to be a normal guy with a bit of an unusual personality.
What kind of personality?
As the story unfolds, you start to realize that Jeremy might just not be such an innocent fellow after all. He might even be able to manipulate time for his own benefit.
Oh my god.
Is he simply messing with the main characters?
The time paradox.
Or does he have something else in his sights?
The time warper.
Is he even human? Is he even still alive? Or did he die in the fire? These
I hope he
are all
died
questions
in a fire.
open for interpretation, which I think serves the story very well, and the ending will surely leave a chill down your spine. The main character is still stuck in Jeremy's time loop, and probably will be forever. It's a sad and very unpleasant thought, and in my opinion, a well-crafted plot twist. Just imagine reliving the same day over and over, unknowingly I might add. You wouldn't even know it's happening. You would be stuck reliving the same events over and over forever and ever, until the end of time, unable to do anything about it. Just thinking about it makes me shiver. It's kind of like Groundhog Day, but creepier. Number 4, from string theory.
The hell's a string theory? Tell me.
Are we puppets?
Oh no. No.
Now,
Oh no.
string theory is a creepypasta that I haven't talked about before. If you haven't read it yet, go do it now. Just do it.
Just do it!
Come on, it's not that long. Oh, but I'm not forcing you. Just read it.
Just do it!
Throughout the story, you wonder what the strings that surround people and objects around the world mean. What is their purpose? Why are they everywhere? In the end, it makes sense though. Maybe, just maybe, we're all puppets, tied to invisible strings. And maybe, just maybe, someone else is controlling our actions. It's a very, very unsettling thought, and a very effective plot twist. Are our actions truly our own? Or are they decided by someone?
So the computer keeps blacking out.
Of course, we like to believe that everything we do is entirely up to ourselves. But maybe our brains and our own thoughts aren't really our own, but merely the thoughts of another being entirely, who secretly controls us. And that's what the strings are for. Strings made to control our every action. This is getting a bit creepy, don't you think? Next you'll be telling me that there's a secret organization out there that controls what the media shows us and what we're allowed to know and not know. Man, wouldn't that be crazy? Number 3, from portraits.
Portraits? Leonardo, have you done this?
Portraits have eyes.
What?
Portraits is another story I've not gotten around to talking about yet.
No, you have
This
not.
story is easy to identify with, and you wonder what you would have done in the hunter situation. Just imagine laying down in an unfamiliar bed, next to numerous paintings of people staring at you, and realizing that they might not be paintings after all, but windows, where real people look at you with hatred and disgust. Surely, this story will leave you feeling quite paranoid by the end of it. It's fantastic that it manages to do so much in such a short amount of time. Sometimes, when handled correctly, less is more. How cheesy would it not have been if the people entered the room and murdered the hunter with excessive amounts of gore? No. This story leaves the conclusion up for interpretation, much like Stairs. Did the hunter escape, or did he meet his fate in the small cabin?
Oh.
That is so much better, and so much more effective, than simply spelling out an over-the-top death scene.
Oh, is that a face palm emoji?
Grossing the reader out.
Oh my god, look,
no, I'm not condemning death scenes in general. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, sometimes, you don't have to explain everything, or leave every detail obvious to the reader. If you execute it well enough, which I'm perfectly certain you're capable of, I promise you that it will stick with the reader a whole lot more than a million liters of blood ever could. Just like what this story did perfectly. It sets up a premise, has an idea, and plays this said premise out with just enough information to keep the reader on their toes. Good job, author. Number 2, from Candle Cove.
Huh. Yep, it's just imagination, right?
Candle Cove.
Yep, I knew it.
Existed.
Yep, I read the story.
Candle Cove is great. It's so great.
Oh, into the square.
The shows you watched as a child may not be as innocent as you remember them. Ah, no, not that. But yeah.
Oh my
whatever
god,
show you watched when you were younger turned out to not be like how you remembered it. What if it never even properly
I've seen this
existed?
video before.
And what if you were only able to see it at a younger age?
The laughing stock.
This, in my opinion, ties in with the supposed screaming episode on YouTube. Even though it may be fake, with numerous stock scream sound effects in the background, it makes you wonder what you're missing when the static shows up. For a split second, you see that creepy man-bear pig, and then nothing but static. What is it we're not seeing? Are we too old to see it? What is it we're not seeing? It really left me wondering, and the story should be applauded for that. It leaves a great deal of mystery and really doesn't spell things out for you, leaving you to freely come up with your own take on what the story actually means. Heck, I might be wrong. The show might have actually existed, or it could have simply been kids watching static. Maybe it was some sort of transmission
Steph should ask other people about this.
Where they thought they were watching something when they really weren't. At least, that's what I took away from the story. That's my take on it. A very, very effective way to end a nearly flawless creepypasta.
What's numero uno, Mr. Conway?
So, here we go. My favorite creepypasta plot twist that made my jaw
I said Kenway, right? As the assassin from Assassin's Creed 3.
Up to this point. This one point that makes you realize exactly what's going on. And this story excels at it.
What story?
The best creepypasta plot twist
is
that I have read comes from Psychosis.
Bruh.
The main character was right.
About what?
Yeah, I know. I've talked about Psychosis on this channel before, but screw it. It deserves to be talked about.
Again.
It's just so beautifully well written, thought out, and executed. So the main character in the story begins suspecting that something is wrong. So what does he do?
Oh yeah, Amnesia thought this thing was free
and
before
never
in
give
Steam.
up. He tries to rationalize his actions and convince himself that what he's doing is the right thing. At first, you think he's overreacting and over-exaggerating.
I've only played the demo.
Over the course of the story, you listen to his almost maniacal rants,
and it scares the hell.
where he desperately tries to make sense of the situation he's being put through. He tries to reason with the reader and tries to make you understand why he's skeptical about what's real and what's not. You sympathize with him. You feel his struggle. You want him to make it out okay, even if it all turns out to be an elaborate hoax or just him reading too deeply into things. You want him to succeed. And then comes the final paragraph. The final plot twist that completely justifies it all. He was right. He was always right. And now
he's always right.
Stuck in a world
Judges,
where the odds
set him free.
But he will never give up. What a badass. Surrounded by puppets, posing to be humans, desperately trying to have him give in to their lies so that they can finally take over.
No, you're not coming down from there.
Trying and trying, but failing every single time.
But puppets are...
But they can never
shut up, Puppet, get out there.
And he can never tell them. They
Thank you.
have to behave like humans, and he has to cling to what's left.
Puppet from FNAF series just wanted to come along.
Both parties are stuck in a stalemate, with no side's victory.
I'm sorry that I yelled.
Soon.
But I need to understand.
It's not only a fight about one man against another entity,
for understanding.
But a fight on a larger scale. A fight to keep humanity, whatever is left of it, alive. I could go on and on about how absolutely extravagant this piece of masterful literature is, but I'll stop here. See what these plot twists do to me?
What?
They make me think of the stories in a different light, and make me realize that a lot of times, there's more to a story than what meets the eye. You see, stories like Psychosis is why I read creepypasta. Stories like Psychosis is why I get so passionate when I see stories that coldly exploit mature themes simply to have it in there, and why I get so passionate when I see people soil their reputation by creating mediocre, uninspired, and poorly written stories. Stories like Psychosis is why I make these kinds of videos, to show that you're able and very well capable of creating spectacular things.
Fox is a good guy, mister.
To tired, overused cliches and ideas. I'm not saying you can't use them or should stay away from them.
What?
And I'm not saying that every cliche is bad.
Sounds like saying
that if you write them well enough, they'll blend seamlessly in.
Oh, hi, Mr. Mickey Mouse.
And that is a sign.
You shouldn't have bought Star Wars.
Something right. There you have it.
You let LucasArts down, Disney.
For the best creepypasta plot twists.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope you'll have a great day. And someday, I hope I can read a story from you watching this video that will blow me away. I am 100% certain that you could. Thanks for watching, everyone.
I'm just seeing there's no screamer.
Care. Stay awesome. Goodbye.
Let's pause right there. So, I'm gonna congratulate you, HoodoHoodlumsRevenge. If you see this, now I'm gonna congratulate you for 100,000 subscribers. Let's see if I actually reached it. Let's see if I actually done it. Let's see the Messiah, the Holy Law, and he has done again. 100,000 subscribers. If you see this, Mr. Dennis, is it okay if I call you Dennis? Yeah. If you see this, Dennis, then please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see my reaction to his top 13 scariest creepypastas, which was his first Halloween special, you can check it out on my channel on the popular uploads, or I'll put a link in the description. And hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next video. And yeah, shout out to the HoodoHoodlumsRevenge. Link in the description. You can just see this one up there. Just pause the video and just type it in. Just remove the about screen right there. Yeah, if it's okay. Just yeah. 100,000 subscribers and 9.6 million views on the channel. I'm almost at 100,000 views on my channel. I am almost at 100,000 views on my channel. But as always, stay classy and peace.